Hi everyone, it's me, C Lefty Run. Here to give you a week 7 marathon training update for Revel Big Bear. Go Dodgers. Start the playoffs tomorrow against the Padres. If you're a baseball fan, I was kind of relieved that they're playing the Padres because they've had a really good record against the Padres this season, but Padres, they might be getting hot at the right time, which that they win baseballs. The wild cards win baseball games. You know why? Because they're not all burned out because they've lost most of the season. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, if you're a Dodger fan, you can relate to my heart attacks. If you don't like the Dodgers, well, you can root for the Padres. Okay, so week 7, I ran 53 total miles. And what shoes did I try out this week? I bought the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3, which I don't know if you recall, a couple weeks ago, I did a 5K. It was like a casual 5K from our local running store, and they allowed you to demo Saucony shoes. And I'm a big Saucony fan. I have been since I started trying to qualify for Boston. And so I tried the Speed 3 and I had the ones. I ran Revel Big Bear last year in the Speed 1. I had the Speed 2s, didn't like the Speed 2s as much as I liked the 1, but they were getting the job done. And then I ran the 5K in the Speed 3 and I really loved it. So I ordered it from Runner's High. No, from Roadrunner Sports. And it was taking forever. And I was like, and the reason I go with Roadrunner Sports is because if you are a VIP, like family member, you just pay a little extra. You get a discount on shoes. You get like a 90-day amazing return policy. I never wear shoes for 90 days and return them. That's real messed up, but you could if you wanted to. And so I like that. So I end up usually getting like $20 or $30 off a pair of shoes. And, you know, when shoes are costing $250, the last thing you want to do is try a pair of shoes and you're like, I hate this shoe, and be stuck with it. So that's why I always buy from Roadrunner Sports. But it was just taking this Saucony Speed was on back order and that it kept getting delayed. So then I was like, I'm just going to go to Runner's High and get it, give my local running store some support. Did I get the discount? No, but I knew I liked the shoe and they were the ones that allowed me to demo it. So yeah, I ran in that shoe this week. And I've never I'm anti Nike, at least I have been, and then I gave in. Anti Nike, well, just because of how, anyway, I feel like they haven't been very kind to women in sports. They might be trying to change that, but that's just because they were called out on it, right? And then the whole doping thing, it's just bad taste in my mouth. Whether it's true or false, I don't know. Probably is true. I don't know, but just leaves bad taste in my mouth. So I've been trying to avoid Nike. But I tried the Invincible because I'm looking for like a cushioned recovery day shoe. And I love my Saucony Ride 15s. Like, I think that is such a great shoe. But now that I'm putting on more mileage, I just feel like on my Sunday runs, I just need something that's going to be a bit easier for my legs. And so, and I know everyone loves the Nova Blast 3. I just hated the Nova Blast 2. And so I didn't want to try the Nova Blast 3. And then I wonder if it's a trend. Like, everyone's like, the Nova Blast, it's amazing. Oh my gosh. I think we've talked about this before. Or if it's like an influencer thing. But no, it seems like people pretty genuinely like really like that shoe. Anyway, I didn't want to try it. Somehow I came across the Invincible and I was like, I'll give it a try. And I really like it. Darn it, I really like it. I was hoping I wouldn't like it because it's Nike, and I do. So I've been doing some runs in that and I like it. It's quite poppy and just nice and soft. And anyway, 53 miles this week 7. On Sunday, I did 6 and I did it outside just because I felt like going outside. I've been doing the Boston series with Tommy, as you know, on Sundays. But I was like, I'm going to run outside. I did 9:38 pace and my heart rate was 127, like pretty good, right? And then I did some abs afterwards with Heather Robertson, just 10 minutes. There's this one video that she does that I like. Monday, I did an easy 6 at 9:51, like so crazy, right? So slower pace, and my heart rate was a bit higher at 130. Also did some abs that day with Heather Robertson. Tuesday, I had my speed workout, which, I've been going to my runner's high track group and kind of trying to do them both. And then they moved track to Monday, and Monday's not great for me, and blah, blah, blah. So last week I ran on Tuesday through the park, as I've always traditionally done. I didn't do the runner's high run. And I feel like I do need to get some of these SOS workouts in the way that my plan calls for it. So I'm like, I'll mix it up a bit. So I did it in the park. It was hot. In my head, I'm like, I'm going to adjust my paces. I looked up on Luke Humphrey's calculator based on the temperatures, like 85, what I should adjust to. But darn those cross country girls, they were out in the park and my ego got in the way. And so I didn't really adjust my pace. So I did a 2-mile warm up, and then I did 2 miles at 7:47, 2 miles at 7:49, and 2 miles at 7:55. Progressively got slower. Without the adjustment, it called for 8:03 to 7:54. So you would say like, oh, wow, that's really great. I really like overtaxed myself. I could feel it. And I think I stopped, when you have the recovery after you do the 2 miles, there's like a recovery. What was it? Half a mile for this one. Like I went to the water fountain and, did that in between because it's hot. It was hot. And would I have been better off just adjusting my paces? I don't know, but I could feel that it really taxed me. 2-mile cool down. So that ended up being 11 miles. My average heart rate for that was 152, but it got up to 17. No, that was Saturday's run. Well, it got up to like 170 something, but the average was 152. Thursday I did 6 at 9:40. Oh, that Tuesday run, I was real upset because my speed 3s had not come in yet from Roadrunner. And I was like, gosh darn it, I need those shoes. I'm not going to get, I'm in the middle of my marathon training, almost done at this point. So I went to Runner's High after work and I just bought some from them. And so I did that workout in the speed 3s, and it does rub my ankle. So I had to use, I'll continue that on I started to feel the rubbing, but it wasn't bad. So I'll continue that for my Saturday run. So keep that in mind. I started to feel it. Thursday did 6 at 9:49, 128 was my heart rate. And I did strength with my girl, Heather. For about 20 minutes, full body workout I like. Friday, I did 8 at 9:39 pace. My average heart rate was a 134. Oh no, okay. I was like, what's the deal? I go faster, my heart rate goes lower. Okay, no, that makes sense. So yeah. So I like that my low heart rate, like these are legit easy runs, right? I'm not in that weird zone. Anywho, Saturday I had 16 miles. I think I left my house around 7:20 in the morning. My average pace for the 16 miles was 8:38. My average heart rate was a 151, but it got up to 180. So here's my splits real quick. 9:42, 9:19, 8:50. I'm like, hey, I'm going down, right? 8:32. Ooh, negative splitting. 8:23. Oh, here we go. 8:16. Yay. But then I start 8:23. Then 8:38. Oh, and I ran up some hills. I added some hills. So that was about the time when I started running up some hills. That Kate Bush song or whatever it is. 8:24. Then an 8:29. Then an 8:33. 8:33 again. Little consistency. 8:39, 8:37. Mile 15, I'm like, oh, no, mile 14, 8:43. And then for the last mile, I was like, I'm gonna pick it up, see what I can do. 8:14 for the last mile. So I use the water fountains now that it's not hot. I'm not carrying my own water. I just bank on the water fountains. I have two stories about this. There's one water fountain that I use, water fountain number 3, to be exact, is by a tennis court and frisbee golf. And so for years, this water fountain has always worked. So I'm coming back and I just had this gel, by the way, precision gel. I tried this. It's got 30 grams of carbs and I liked it. It had the consistency of Martin, potato. So yeah, I liked it. Was it better than like my honey stinger? Did I feel more energy? Like, no, I don't know. I'm like, is this a new marketing thing? Like, it's the whole like fuel before your runs and you need a running coach and now you need a nutrition coach and this is how you fuel and coach for everything. Like next I should be a shoe coach. Like, let me coach you on the shoes you should buy. Just, I don't know. I'm joking, totally joking, but there's a coach for everything in running now. Running, which is a really inexpensive sport, has become quite expensive if you pay all these coaches, which I don't, but I do follow some of them. And the big thing, right? The big trend is like lots of carbs, 16 to 90 grams, which I think is valid. Like research shows 60 to 90 grams an hour. So I'm like, all right, this has got a lot of bang for my buck. If I take 2 of these in an hour, like that gets me to my minimum limit. And I liked it. So I will probably buy more of these. But did I feel like an extra pep in my step because I got an extra 7 grams of carbs? I didn't. So I don't know. And I've been feeling pretty well, like I've been paying attention to it. I don't know if I feel an extra pep in my step. I mean, my 16 miler was pretty good. It wasn't great. It wasn't like knocking it out of the park. And by mile 15, I was like, is this going to be over? Which brings me to stopped at water fountain number 3. And which again is in front of a tennis court. And there's like a shop there. And I go to hit it because I just had one of these. And I go to hit it and it's not working. So I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do? So I go into the golf shop because my mind is like, I need this water. Did I need it? I don't know. But my mind was like, you need to get some water. So I'm like, I get a bottle of water. I'm like, do you take Apple Pay? And the guy's like, yep. And I was like, awesome. Put the water down. I'm like, here you go. And he's like, that's a $5 minimum purchase. Really? $5 minimum purchase? And I was like, but the water fountain, like out front, and I'm like drenched in sweat. Like you can tell, like, girl needed some water. I'm like, no, really? And he's like, well, you can get a Cliff Bar. I was like, I don't want a Cliff Bar. I just want a bottle of water. No, $5. Like he was steadfast on the $5. So I was like, you can take your water. I don't want it. I left it there and I ran out and I just missed the water stop. So anyway, and then I'm running back after that and I'm feeling pain in my heel, like rubbing, right? On both sides, both heels, some serious rubbing going on. And I'm like, oh, to where I had to stop and I looked, huge blister like this big. So I readjusted the laces. I used that last hole to help with like the heel lock. I guess that's what that last hole is for. I don't know, but that stopped with the slippage. And fortunately, it didn't get into my head enough to where I was like, had to end the run. But it was note to self, bring some Band-Aids. So then I got home and the blister was pretty good. Like I had to put a Band-Aid on it and everything. I'm just glad I didn't notice how bad it was while I was running. So does it change my opinion of the speed 3s? No. Hopefully that lace will help. And then tomorrow, it's Monday. Tomorrow when I do my SOS, I'm gonna put Band-Aids on it and cross my fingers. So that was my week 7. Hopefully. Oh, and then I did that 16-mile run and then I came home and did Heather Robertson strength 20 minutes. No, No, that one's longer. I do longer on Saturdays. I did, it's like 30 minutes. So anyway, we'll see. What I think I've mentioned this many a times is like, even though I'm feeling tired, like on the 16 miler, I felt tired. I didn't feel like I had to stop and like catch my breath or reset or anything like that. So that was good. That's good. Is this training cycle going amazing for me? No, not as motivated as I normally am. The Tuesday run's been really, really hard, especially with the weather, and I got to get over it because the reality is I can only do them after work. God bless those of you who have flexible work schedules. I don't. So, yeah. And then I haven't been doing any, when I run in the morning, haven't really been doing any like quick Instagram updates on my runs because it's too dang dark. I can't even see myself film. Like I come home and the sun isn't even up yet. So looking forward to daylight savings fall back. And then I'm reading that they're taking that away, but who knows? Anyway, hope your training cycle, I don't want to say is going better than mine. Mine is going okay. I'm just not knocking it out of the park. Hope your training cycle is going okay or better than mine. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that did not run the Chicago Marathon this weekend because, you know, I have an Instagram account where all I do is follow runners. So it really felt like everybody ran the Chicago Marathon this weekend except for me, which I ran Chicago before. I told you about the disaster of the heat and it was canceled. I have PTSD from heat. It was canceled halfway. I still finished it. I have a whole video on that. It was 2007. So before, like, it was real cool. Like it was a world major, but it wasn't like the fanfare that it is now. So, and then Long Beach Marathon happened this weekend, and I almost dragged myself out of bed and did my run and then went there to like cheer people on. But then I was like, I have one day a week where I don't have to rush out of bed in the morning, and that is Sundays because I just have a 6 mile easy run. So I kind of like, I'm like, no, I wish them luck from my bed. So, and we had good weather that day in the morning. In the morning, the weather is fine. It's just in the afternoon, it's still too warm to do SOS workouts. I just have to deal with it. Get over yourself. I'm going to get over myself. Okay, go Dodgers. Happy running. See you next week.